Everywhere GBS.
Well, welcome back. As I had promised earlier, today we are going to discuss matters regarding the violence that is being meted against students, especially university students. And recently we saw some really disturbing images, which also I would like my director to play, but with a lot of caution also, with a viewer discretion to our viewers back at home, that some of these images you may find some of these images disturbing. Police were caught in camera beating up a student during protests at the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. Let's watch this video, and then this sets the motion to our discussion this morning.
Irekodi yote, hii lazima tutumie online. Ameshika. Shida ni amehasi hata isikimbia. Vizuri.
Well, that is how the Kenya police handles protests, and you can clearly see that the man is helpless, the student is helpless, and you have about 4 or 5 police officers kicking and beating up with batons a student who is helpless on the ground. And to what degree should the police go? To how much force can the police, or is the police allowed to use in such a circumstance? And this is not the first time we've seen students being beaten up by police during protest. In the past, in the near past, also we saw similar protests in Kenyatta University, and also we saw Moi University. And in all these incidences, we hear cases and we see cases of police brutality. So today with me in studio are 2 gentlemen who I'll allow to introduce themselves as we begin our discussion this morning. Gentlemen, karibu sana kwa studio.
Thank you very much.
Maybe we start with you on the left side.
Yes, so my name is Michael Mwinde, the current KUSO president in Coastal Region. Yeah.
Karibu sana.
Thank you very
Karibu
much.
tena.
Asante sana.
We've had you before. Yes.
My name is Gaddafi Samuel, the current KUSO chief of staff. Yes.
Welcome, gentlemen, to the studio. The images we saw there, your thoughts on such images? Bwana Gaddafi, we start with you.
Okay, it's saddening, and it's so unfortunate that the people who are tasked with the task of protecting students are the ones who are being seen while beating up students whom they are supposed to protect. And it's very saddening and very unfortunate that police officers can go to that extent to treat an unarmed, a harmless comrade who has done nothing but who is just seeking to air out his views about some issues that are affecting them. So on my part, I say that it's very unfortunate and it's very sad. Yes.
Mr. Mwinde, what do you think?
Yes. First, let me condemn that. That is a barbaric act. That is cantankerous. It cannot be allowed. I'm sad to debate on this because in recent past I was here. We also talked about the KU saga and also Moi saga. This has been happening. This is not the first scenario. You have seen it even in Meru. There's a student leader who was killed. That was killed. Now, you saw that video. If it were not for that video, we could not have enough evidence. You could be told that students are just joking. They don't have evidence. They don't have anything. I heard in a recording yesterday from Capital FM that police are being cautioned and saying that he was not involved in that case. But I'm glad yesterday we went to the police quarters, vigilance hapa Nairobi CBD, and we were condemning the same, and we were assured that the 4 police officers, they were identified and they are being handled by the law well. Now what we want to urge is that we don't want to be told they are being acted upon. We want to know, to see, or rather to see reality, because promises are being there and we are being told that they are being acted, but nothing is done. But for the first time, I think we are going to get justice.
I mean, definitely what you're saying is very true and important. According to the IG, who sent out a letter, he confirmed the incident and say that the 4 police officers have been identified. And I think what now needs to be done, even as they await to face disciplinary action, is that Kenyans also should see their faces and they should be, arraigned in court, I believe. But let's go back to these issues. And this I asked last time when we were here with you, Mr. Mwinde. Is there a better way of students addressing issues that they have with their administrations? Does it always have to be protests?
It has to be a protest.
In the streets?
Yes. Let me give you the reasons. First, before these people come on roads, I've told you many times, or rather I've said many times, before these people go to on the roads, or rather in the streets, these people have aired through a certain channel. They have gone to an extent of this venue. That case in JKUAT, those students, they said very well, they issued a memo, they said that we have tried our best, and we are going to return our powers to the students so that they can take actions to fight for their grievances. That is the insecurity in that area. Yesterday, I can concur and I have evidence. They said that they have tried to engage the current OSPD there, but nothing is done. Yes. So, what should you do?
Blocking the Thika Superhighway, which is a very busy road, which doesn't just serve Nairobi, which serves a huge population of this country. Bringing business to a standstill, affecting other people's business, is that justified, even if you would like to air your views, Bwana Gaddafi? I mean, is that really justified? Bringing other people's business to a standstill. Yes, they have a problem with the residents in the area, or who among them there are crooks or thugs who disturb the kids or bring insecurity, cause the insecurity that they are protesting. But what about the commuters who are using the Thika Superhighway? Someone who is bringing the products from Nyeri and is blocked on the road, and their staff has to, maybe it's food products. They get spoiled on the road because he or she cannot pass to Nairobi to bring their products, Bwana Gaddafi. Is it justified by any means?
To some extent it is.
To some extent. To what extent?
Okay, this is the extent. When, the Constitution gives anyone and everyone who wants to demonstrate peacefully.
Peacefully.
Yes, the right to demonstrate.
Demonstration and picketing.
Yes. And what you must know is, we as comrades, when we set out to demonstrate, we are always peaceful. We try to air our views on the street peacefully. But then the police come. Instead of protecting the students who are peacefully demonstrating, they start throwing tear gas. They start lobbing tear gas canisters.
Police came to intervene when you guys had already blocked the roads, and they just came to tell you, hey guys, demonstration huko kando, wacheni barabara watu wapite.
No, if you have set out to demonstrate, you must send a message. For something to happen, a message has to be sent. So if students deem it fit that by closing the road, their issues will be addressed. Because
but the Constitution does not allow you to infringe on another person's right because you on your own deem it fit that this is your right. Does the Constitution do that? Actually, the Constitution prohibits infringement of other people's rights. Am I right?
Yes, you're right.
Then why block the roads? that's another person's right.
Mr. Timothy, let me intervene now. Now, Mr. Timothy, we are arguing on two constitutions here. We have a students' constitution, and we have the constitution of Kenya, that is constitution of 2010. All these constitutions allows for peaceful demonstrations in each and every university, in each and every union. There's a constitution which gives them a right to peacefully demonstrate. We are always peaceful, very peaceful. But at the end of the day, Omondi, we always say that there are few elements within ourselves, those who try to provoke that peace. But when they are provoked, then the police take it as the whole team. You see, the whole team.
But the rot is within the whole lot.
You have also said blocking about the Thika Superhighway. Yes, if it has to be that, then it has to be that.
Yes.
Because
Then
at the end of the
justifying,
day,
Mr. Muinde, what I'm getting is that you guys are trying to justify infringement of other people's rights just because your student's constitution says that it's fine to block the roads, but then the national constitution, which is the ultimate law of the land, prohibits infringement of another person's right, whereas it still gives you the freedom to picket and demonstrate, but peacefully. Is blocking the road peaceful? Say there's an ambulance and someone is going to hospital. What happens to that person?
remember, my brother, we have a mass of people. Yesterday, we were at what? The police
At the
headquarters.
vigilance house, yes.
Yes, yesterday we were there.
Yeah.
Hakuna tear gas tulirushiwa, si ni kweli?
Yes.
Hakuna pale tuliblock. It also depends of the numbers. Kama students wameamua kukutana hapo watu wengi, si ni kama kwa barabara kama wanapita. Hapa CBD tumeona. Kama watu wanapita na ni watu ni wengi, gari lazima zisimame.
But Chief
watu
of
wapite.
Staff, I mean, you should be able to organize your people and tell them, hey, okay, guys, this is our route. This is where we are going to demonstrate. This is how we are going to do it. Let's not block the road. Let's keep to this side. And if we are going to the OCPD, let's go to the OCPD. If we are going to the chief's camp, let's go to the chief's camp. But let other people proceed with their own business as we do our own business. Is that possible?
Let's think of it this way.
Is that possible?
Of course, it's possible.
It is
but
very
then
possible. Then why not do it?
Let's think of it this way. Students are going to protest.
Yes.
They are demonstrating.
Yes.
There are like 500 of them.
Yes.
And if they are protesting against insecurity, they will protest around that area.
Yes.
While maybe going to the chief's camp or just assembling outside there.
Gaddafi
But
is
now-
called urinating in the courts of injustice.
Yeah. So now, as I was saying, when they are crossing the road, you know, we don't block roads, we cross them. Now, in the process of crossing them, we get jam. Now, when there is traffic jam, the police take it that we were blocking the roads.
Mr. Gaddafi.
Comrades don't block roads.
Mr. Gaddafi. I mean,
We just crossed the road. So, like Thika Superhighway, comrades were crossing the Thika Superhighway.
you know,
Then the
we've
police
seen
came.
peaceful. We know what a peaceful protest is, right? And we also know that according to the law, as enshrined in the law, if you have a demonstration that you're about to hold, then you need to get a permit from the police or the local authorities around, right?
Yes.
Was this?
Yeah,
Did this student obtain a permit to demonstrate?
Definitely. They according to the constitution of the students, you must have a permit from the dean of student. The dean of student.
So,
Or you must notify him if he tries to cut you across before reaching to your point. Yeah.
because why I'm asking this, that's a permit from the dean of students.
Yes.
But then we have permits from the police. It's the police
Okay.
who issues permits for any form of demonstration.
Can I
It's a
answer that?
peaceful march, it's a marathon, it's a cleaning exercise around the area that will, of course, to some extent disrupt
Okay,
the continuance
what
of
usually
business.
happens is, before a strike is being held, this has been called by the student leaders.
Yes.
The student leaders meet and they discuss. And after they meet and discuss, they draw up a memo to the students, informing the administration, informing the entire students' fraternity, informing the members of the public, and informing the police that they will be engaging in a peaceful protest. So the police know, because how How do they come? Because you get, today we are supposed to get, start our strike at 9 a.m. You get at 8 a.m., the police are there.
Maybe
So how did
they've
they
just
know?
gotten wind
No.
that these students are going to demonstrate.
They got the wind through the memo. We give them memos. But these guys, they're not honest. They will come and say, oh, these guys didn't get a permit for this strike. But we usually try and get memos and write memos to the police and inform them. Even the IG, we even copy one to the IG.
Okay.
We tell them that tomorrow we will be engaging in a peaceful demonstration.
Which in
Please
the
come
case-
and protect
Which
us.
in the case of JKUAT, the students had done that.
Yes, they had a permit.
Now, you guys went down to the office of the IG Vigilance House yesterday.
Yes.
What was what was the nature of your meeting there? I saw you met with is it the police spokesman?
Yes.
Yeah, what was the nature of the meeting?
Yesterday, it is because of the alarming insecurity in many universities. It is not even JKUAT alone. It is many universities. Yesterday, at Kisauni, Mombasa, students from 2, they were attacked by guns.
All right.
And not that alone, for a period of 1 month, we have had more than 20 students being attacked from the same place where they are robbed and they are injured, seriously injured. And that our main attention was, we wanted to deliver our petition to the office of IG so that actions and enough security can be guaranteed to, first at JKUAT and also to all the universities in Kenya which are facing insecurity. And also we want to send this message to all the student leaders in Kenya. We want them to file their grievances pertaining insecurity and they present them before the KUSO office or to the office of the IG. Yesterday we petitioned and they said they are going to act, and they said that they don't support insecurity at any point because that is their work, to fight insecurity. So all the students to file their grievances and forward them, because that is going to be permanently dealt with. Now, if it's not going to be dealt with, if just is going to be fake, then the students will take arm at their hands. And we are also calling upon the students and the police now, because we know there are police officers who are good there, outside there, and they are protecting us. They should come and join us. We fight this war together. This war cannot be won by comrades alone. It can be won with the police. We also want to urge them, when we are peacefully demonstrating, we ask them to come and join us, to protect us. And in case there is anyone who maybe is doing something which is, let him be handled, but not severely handled. Because I believe we are sober. All Kenyans and us as students, we are sober, the police are sober. And I'm very sure, united we stand, and divided we fall. And that's when we are going to have such scenarios where students are demonstrating, police are taking action on them. That's where the criminals will take urge, and that's why they are going to take advantage of the matter, because they know students are going to be intimidated, and they are not going to fight their war. So our main concern was we were taking the petition there, and at some point we went to try to do some funny businesses until we are hard, because in Kenya, unless you show you're mad, you can never be taken serious.
So only mad people are taken seriously.
No, unless you show you're mad. Not mad.
The petition,
Yes.
It was a 4-point petition.
Yes.
And we had four issues that we wanted the IG to address. And the first issue was that the rogue officers who were seen manhandling and beating up a comrade at JKUAT be identified and action be taken against them. And the spokesman, Mr. Charles Owino, assured us that they had already been identified and they had been interdicted. And we also requested him to give us the names and the faces of those guys.
These officers, yeah.
Because there is no way we will follow up if we do not know the names of these guys.
Sure.
If we do not know their faces.
To know exactly.
Because maybe, these guys, in Kenya, they are PR stunts. Maybe they, like that press release that I'm seeing there, they might have just written it in order to keep us at bay.
To cool down the,
yeah,
the
to cool,
temper.
to
and
cool
the
down the
sti-
temperature and everything.
temperature.
And then number two, we asked the IG and the CS Interior to ensure that all comrades are protected, that all comrades who are residing in the university and outside the university are protected, that the region that is near the university is protected, that no comrade is being mugged, no comrade is being stabbed by the thugs around there. Because if we look at the issue of JKUAT, it came about because there were insecurity issues which they had tried to address to the OCPD. We actually told Mr. Charles Owino that his OCPD at Juja knows about these cases, but he has done nothing.
These cases have been reported by students.
Yes, by the student leaders. Even they had the names. We told them the names of the OCPD, and he said he would act upon it. Number three, we asked the IG to ensure that whenever students are demonstrating, you know, students, we are still young, so maybe we might be overexcited. Yeah?
With the demonstrations.
Yes. So whenever we are demonstrating, the police should act like parents. They should not behave like animals. They also have kids. When you see us, we are destroying things. Try to find a way, yeah, to put us back. There are measures that if you see someone breaking the law, you arrest them. You don't have to beat them.
There are restrictions as to how much force one can use.
Yes,
Of course, force is allowed to some
Yes,
extent
yes.
if there's destruction of property,
Yes.
but it also has a limit.
And for JKUAT, there was no destroy. They didn't destroy anything. They were just strike calmly, and the police came, tear gas canisters and everything. So now they started manhandling that young man. They beat him like 5 officers. So
There were 4.
yeah, like 4.
Four of them.
There were 4.
So what we said is, if there are issues and the strike has gotten out of control, the police are trained. They should know how to handle these guys. Then our last and the 4th point was an apology. We demanded an apology from Mr. Charles Owino. And he said that he was sorry on behalf of the police, and that he will make sure that that thing never happens again. And we hope so. And we hope he was honest. Yeah.
On the same. Now, I mean, when we look at it, isn't it more that the universities or the institutions should also be thinking about the security of their students? For instance, in a place like JKUAT, of course we have students who live within hostels within the school, but also there are students who live outside. And I believe that those who are facing these matters of insecurity are the students who have to, commute from and to school. Isn't it important to note that the institution itself also is mandated to provide security for their own students? Isn't it the case?
It's the case, first of all.
But
it goes sometimes it goes out of their control. You see, also the administration, or rather they have certain measures. So they provide enough security inside the institution. I believe we have never seen, apart from Garissa University and maybe a few cases, you have never seen an mysterious case inside the university, because the security there is maximum, because that's the mandate of the institution.
Yes.
But immediately outside the universities, that is the mandate of the law.
But I think
maintainers.
the institution itself, being fully aware that some of the students are living outside their facilities, it's important for them always to liaise with the local police, because they know that the students live outside, right? They know that some students will have to do some study until late. Like last time we were talking to you here, and you're mentioning about sometimes you don't have a laptop. You've borrowed a laptop from a friend. You have to study late in the library, and as you leave late in the evening, this laptop is stolen from you. How do you pay back? The institution should be fully aware of such things and liaise with the police. And before even the students go to the police to, complain twice or thrice, the institution itself should be able to engage the police, don't you think?
Personal message as a student leader in a body which is guarding on the universities. Now I want to send a message to all the VCs and the unity, the security department. we request that you take that action, go in front to the OCPD in the local areas, mshikane na the local police in that area to ensure that there is maximum security to all the students, because our students ni mtoto pia wa VC, huyu student ni mtoto pia wa polisi, huyu student ni mtoto wa kila mtu, mule mama anauza boga pale, ule daktari pale. So we request them, we humbly request as students, please, 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 we want united nation. In case of any criminal act by anyone, it now calls for us to be united. That's my only message which I can send. Yes, and I believe it's going to reach out, and the action will be taken. To the police and the IG, we respect and we honor you, and we are very thankful so far, because there are also cases, sometimes we try to reward the bad deeds, but we also don't reward the good deeds. We try to be blind on good deeds. So far, many universities have had serious cases, but the police handle them well. So we appreciate. We have had some insecurity in some areas, but they are well handled. So we appreciate the police. But now, the minor cases which are there, of which are minor mega, they should be acted upon. It's a request to the management of all the universities in conjunction with the OCPDs and the security department in Kenya.
Bwana Gaddafi, to what extent do you think that the institutions should be involved in, with the local authorities in the protection and security of their students outside the institution's premises?
Okay, what I know is that in university, at least some of these security officers, leave alone the professional ones like Lavington and Wells Fargo, they are always internal security. These guys in plain clothes.
Yeah.
Most of them are are drawn from the police.
Yeah, from the forces. Yeah.
Yeah. So they know they have links with their colleagues who are maybe at the station and the OCSs. So to your question, I believe that the VCs and the entire leadership of the university can liaise with the police, with the local police, to ensure that comrades are safe. Because once you are inside the university, to some extent you are very safe, because we have security there.
Yes, yeah.
And then you are secured in numbers,
Yes.
because there is no thief who will come when the comrades are there.
Sure.
But now once you leave the university,
You're alone sometimes.
yeah, you're alone sometimes, and it's upon now the security officers from the local area to protect these people, because once you leave the university, you are just like a normal citizen outside there. So you are supposed to be protected by these guys.
Yes.
And since these guys are sleeping on their job, the VCs should take it upon themselves to liaise with them, to tell them, our students, most of them leave at this time. Come, do patrols around the schools.
Around the schools, yeah.
Do patrols around the villages near the school, so that you make sure that students are not mugged and students are not attacked by thugs. Yes, so
And then there are also these, security firms that offer patrol services. We see their cars, parked in strategic places when you walk around. Can the university not afford services of such organizations?
And let me tell you also something, and I'm sorry to this, and I'm sorry to say this. It is not even to students alone. You have seen that sometimes when we have deployment of some few officers who are not real in their jobs, they go on asking a few tokens from the students, or not even the students, the citizens. That's a barbaric act, and we can't allow that. And we request there, because the police, I'm very sure they cannot accept that. In case you come across any of such behavior, forward it to the IG. That officer deserves to be taken out of the job.
But then, that's something that I'm not justifying, but it's something that has been out there for a long time. We know about, the issue of Kitu Kidogo, and when police are making their rounds, their patrols, we've seen them mitaani, when they're doing their patrols, they go into these, wine wine stores and pick up, I don't know, 50s and 100s. That's something that is
That is not even
is known.
that is
something
not
that is known.
not our concern. Our concern here is about the student fraternity.
So the officers
student.
taking money from students.
Sometimes, even in the bus, we want to condemn that. And in case any student comes across such a thing, should never allow. Corruption is prohibited in Kenya, and that's what is killing our nation. And we will fight it.
How do you ensure, or how do you take action against such an officer? How do you even know their name? Now you're saying, let's forward this name to the. How do you manage even to get their name in that incidence where they're manhandling you, maybe in the evening, and you're from school?
Okay, the police or the thugs.
The police.
Those
He's
are
talking
those
about
are
the
thugs in police.
Okay, you know what you see,
Crown.
what you get. These policemen, most of the time, if they are harassing comrades, they are always harassing comrades who have maybe come from the drinking joints, and they threaten them with kijana utalala ndani, or amutoe kitu kidogo. So what you can do is, if they are in uniforms, I think they're always supposed to have numbers.
Yes.
Some tag here with numbers. You can maybe master that number, because as a student, you are very bright, and your cramming capacity is at optimum. So you should be able, if there are like 5, you should be able at least to get 1, because if you get 1, automatically you'll get the rest. Yes, because no one will want to be victimized alone.
Yeah.
But what I want to say is that the police, if they want to take bribes in dens, let them do it, but let them not do it at the expense of the security of students. Yes.
Because I mean, it's quite a big concern that, you know, students, rightfully though, like you said, if they are to hold peaceful protests, then it's their constitutional right. Yes. If they have grievances to air, it is their right also to air their grievances. If they feel like the institution or the relevant authorities are not able or are not responding to their concerns as they feel good. But again, also, there's also the issue of, you know, collective responsibility. You know, these are students. I mean, when you're talking about university students, this is the cream of the country. This is the top brains of the country. But if we see chaos among the top brains of the country, then what are we making? Is this a recipe for chaos, for a chaotic future for our country?
Okay. It is you guys and some other members of the public. You guys misunderstand us.
You guys, when you say you guys, what do you mean?
The general public and the media. You know how the media portray.
I mean, it's the media that is now helping to push this story.
And we are very thankful.
Because
Very thankful.
now, as I have stated earlier, we always start peacefully. And anywhere around the world, people do peaceful protests. And when you see in a civilized nation, the police are always there to provide barriers to an extent where you can demonstrate. But now you get the Kenyan police. The comrades are coming. We are chanting. We need our rights, justice, and justice. But then now the police, they don't even try to intervene by maybe talking to the leaders and giving them asking them what is the problem, which direction are you taking, should we escort you, are you safe? What they do is just they park their lorries and their water cannons right there. Then they just chill. And then after maybe 20 minutes, they now start engaging the comrades in running battles.
You think they should change tact in how
they
are
of course
themselves?
they have to change. So when now you begin, there is some running battles. That's where now the media captures, says that the top brains now they're running, they're jumping over fences. You have seen how that boy was manhandled. So no one would want to be manhandled that way. So when you see a police officer coming, you run.
Take off.
You have to run. You have to take off. You have to provide some defense by
Save
running.
yourself.
Yeah.
Provide some defense.
Yes. So you can't
I like the way you put it.
So you can't blame the students. Yeah, because we are only trying to channel our views.
So the police should act in a more civilized manner, especially when they're handling these protests.
Yes, not only to students, but also to other members of the public who are demonstrating. Yes, because it's their right. One day they will also riot, the police, because they also have problems. Or maybe it is because of the troubles that they have. That's why they are frustrated and they are beating students.
And on our Monday, let me tell you something. Do you know that that's a single clip? Do you know how many cases? That is like 10% of what is happening. Do you know that we have 90% which is not what accounted for? I see irresponsibility when we have that video trending. Until that video trends, that's when we are saying that we are going to act. That is barbaric.
But then the people who have
No,
this
no,
kind
no,
of
no.
evidence,
Omondi.
why don't they come? I mean, these students, what they did was very smart.
Omondi.
They took the video and immediately they posted it on social media, which of course raised the alarm. The media cannot enter into some places, but then with such, we are in the era of the digital era, and your phone can actually act as a camera, like the students did. Put it out there. Can you blame the public? Can you blame the media for not exposing some of these stories?
I think what
The
my-
90%.
90% now, this is what is going to be. This is how it's going to be achieved. Now, the IG himself said that this is barbaric action.
Yes.
This is very bad.
And the CS Matiang'i also condemned
Yes,
this.
and also CS Matiang'i. If they can agree with that is very barbaric action, then Dr. Omondi and the 90%, we can say that they are those officers to work.
Mr. Omondi,
So
not
they
doctor.
yeah, Mr. Omondi. I'm used to calling people doctors because I'm directing the lecturers and the professors.
Sawa.
Thank you. And, lakini siku moja utafika hapo.
Sawa.
I'll still
Yeah,
be
just
there.
proceed, yeah.
Yeah, so to cut it short, and Omondi to bring a durable solution, they should be in act now. Before those cases come to happen, they are prevented. Prevention is better than cure.
And how do you prevent this?
Now, is the mandate of the police, the soberness in the police. I believe in their training, they are trained to what limit, or rather
To what extent
to the
of force they
extent.
can use?
The other day I interacted with a certain soldier from my area, and I was asking him, is it really this right? Akaniambia, isipo at all. Even himself is a soldier and is disagreeing with what is happening. So we can conclude that they should take action, and the soberness. I always preach soberness. Soberness is the order of the day. If we have soberness, then we shall achieve a lot in this nation.
Which sword, I think, should cut both sides, not just to the police to apply soberness, but also to the comrades when they're going out to protest.
Students are always
They
sober.
also-
Comrades are always sober. Yes, we are always sober.
We've seen
Until-
windows broken, we've seen
until
stones
provoked.
thrown. I mean,
Until you know what happens is
the level of sobriety then is what now matters.
about the stones. You know, when we are peacefully demonstrating,
Yes.
then the cops come.
Sure.
Yeah? They start chasing us. So we start like defending ourselves. So it becomes like a game.
Defend yourself against
now
a law enforcer.
now we have something called collateral damage. Those vehicles that were found in the vicinity, you find that maybe it was not a stone that broke the window, it was the tear gas canister that lobbed in the wrong direction. Yeah. But to say this, on what my brother was saying,
Yes.
there is 90% that is unaccounted for.
All right.
So what we can do is, these cases are always reported, because when a cop beats me, yeah, I will go to a police station and report the issue. So the cases are there. So what we'll want to ask the police is for them to be genuine. Prosecute these cases. Yeah? We bring them. Not everyone will get a time to take a camera out and take videos and shots. And not everyone will get those shots and send them to the
So the
social
police
media.
should be honest in acting upon these
Yes,
reports.
even if it's even.
I mean, we've seen how difficult it is for police to prosecute police. I mean, it's not rocket science.
No, at the end of the day, there's something which is right and there's something which is
Which
wrong.
is wrong.
And the inward of humanity, everybody has a soberness that was inserted by God. That there's something which is good and there's something which is wrong.
The knowledge
So
of
that's
God.
the reason why IG mwenyewe na the
Matiang'i.
spokesperson of police,
So we know.
yes, comes out and anasema we are acting on this because this is not acceptable. Not because of public, because at some point also he noted that this is not right.
All right.
So that soberness is what we are preaching. And the other day you asked me.
As we conclude, I'd like you to make that as your final remarks, and then we give Bwana Gaddafi also as we conclude.
So the other day you asked me why do students run and then go throwing stones? I believe now one of your questions is answered. You saw that, and it's answered. Thank you very much, and I appreciate for your concern.
Bwana Gaddafi, your final comments on this.
Okay, these are my final comments. And it goes to the comrades. Do not be afraid. Do not be intimidated. Even if you see that one of you was beaten, when you are given that call, when your leaders call you to the streets, go. Because when your leaders call you to the streets, it means that the other options have already been exhausted. And this is the only option. So as we strike, let us try to be peaceful as we are always peaceful. And when the police try to riot, we try to calm them down.
So is the comrades calming down the police?
Yes.
Well, I like the way you put it, Bwana Gaddafi. But still, you'll also, gentlemen, have to agree with me that as much as the police is applying these brutal tactics on demonstrating students, it is also very important that students also themselves be sober and peaceful in their endeavor as they do that. Bwana Michael, you'll allow me, because time is of course up. I believe that God will also give us hopefully time so that we can discuss this further. Well, viewer, we have come to the end of this segment of the GBS Morning Extra. For comments, suggestions, or opinion, you can send that to our SMS line 21144. Let's keep the conversation going on our Twitter handle. That's at KenyaGBS. Our hashtag is GBS Morning Extra. My name is Timothy Omondi, and of course today I was joined by Michael Mwinde and Gaddafi here in studio representing the Students' Union in Kenya. And I believe that the discussion has been constructive. Well, that's all for now. See you again tomorrow, God willing, and I'll pave way for John Gigi, who is coming in with a Sports Extra. Bye-bye.